And what about in terms of now you see Jungle Scout being a leader in the marketplace, but you have some competitors as well, right? How
Hmm.
do you see Jungle Scout differentiates what you do from all the other, like say Amazon software?
Yeah, great question. So I mean, I guess like at the end of the day, I kind of think about like why or like what are the most important aspects of these tools? Why do these
Mm,
customers want to buy them, or like what influences their purchasing decisions the
mm,
most? And in our particular space, like for our tools or like for Jungle Scout in particular, they want like the best insights that are the most actionable. And at the end of the day,
mm.
they want to buy a tool that helps them grow their business the most. Like they get the best
Yeah.
ROI on. Maybe they
Yes.
don't exactly explain it like that, but at the end of the day, that's really what they're looking for. So that's like exactly what we try to do. And I'm biased, but I think we do quite well at Jungle Scout. So it's like the most actionable insights, the easiest to find these like new opportunities and manage their business and optimize their business. And after using it for a period of time, they can see these real kind of like impacts on their business. Like, wow, when I got Jungle Scout, if you're a brand new entrepreneur, it's like, wow, use Jungle Scout to find that first product, and that first product's doing well. If you have a larger business, it's like, wow, after using Jungle Scout, I can see that I got my business on a different trajectory. And I think that's what we're kind of best at.
Mm. And I think also for my listeners and viewers, if you listen in between the lines, sometimes you might start a business with an idea, but it might be a brand new idea, but it may be easier sometimes. You see a trend. We know Amazon is a trend. It's going to be a
Mhm.
trend for many, many years. In some way, this is like a secondary market of, hey, here's a tool that will help more people to sell on this massive platform that's growing, right? And you can build a very successful business just doing that by serving their customers. Seeing it's actually solving a very particular problem. It's
Mhm.
not even like all these. No, it's like here's one problem that you have, and it's probably the most important problem because before you even spend a dime buying a bunch of inventory from China, selling on Amazon, it reduces your risk. It's almost like a
Absolutely.
like a stock trading software, right? You're gonna trade. This is gonna help you minimize your risk and maximize your return. So
That's
I love
exactly
that. I
right.
love that. I
And
love
that's
that.
actually how I thought about that, that Amazon business that I was building is
Mm,
back then, at least, it was very common for people to
yes.
at least the inventory that or like the goods that they were selling kind of
Yeah.
mimicked how mom and pop brick and mortar stores would be set up. Like I'm a sports store, so I sell
Yeah.
all sports items.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
Enter your type of store here. Whereas I entered it with a different mindset, and it was kind of like a stock trading mindset, and that's what reminded me of it,
Mm,
Dan.
mm.
That I was like, I don't care what I sell. I just want the items that essentially are the best opportunity. So
Correct.
I was
Correct.
selling a whole hodgepodge of all kinds of weird stuff. And that's actually what led to this success.
Yes, yes. And do you sometimes like I assume talk to us about data because you probably collect a lot of data now through the software, right?
Mhm.
Do you first of all how do you best utilize that? Second is do you sometimes see like maybe little bit shiny objects like hey I think I could sell that this is
Mm.
going well like what goes through your mind, how do you best use the data, and then will the data distract you? Like, personally sometimes just for fun, hey maybe I can sell that.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, the it's actually a something that I get asked quite often. Like,
Mm.
okay, if I like sync up my Amazon account, like how do I know either you, Greg, or maybe other people at Jungle Scout or whatever
Yeah,
can
they
like
know
kind of
they're
sync
cutting the
my
cutting the
ID?
line, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally. And uh, for one, we have real strict kind of like privacy policies and confidentiality and all those things
Love
are
that.
protected about that. But
Mm-hmm.
actually, at the end of the day, though, uh, our software has gotten so good that like there's not anything that anyone does or can sell that the software or the system doesn't already know about and doesn't already analyze the opportunity there.
Got it.
So
Got
people
it.
feel like, like what if you see that my marshmallow sticks are selling 100 units a month? It's like before you ever sync up your account, we already know that those sell 100 units per month, and we know more than you do. We know what the competition's like and all these other data points. And those actually aren't taken from our customers' data. We actually don't use or repurpose any of that data in any way. These
Okay.
are all
Okay.
through the other external data sources and like a really sophisticated data science team. So yeah, at the end of the day, like there's there's nothing out there that our software doesn't know about is what it comes down to on Amazon.
Nothing new under the sun for Amazon. I mean, it's got
Right.
everything now. Yes.
Right.
And what happens, like since, let's say last year, do you see any changes within your company or the market, like since like COVID? Do you see the businesses booming more? I'm assuming more people going on Amazon because more people want to start their own businesses. Like, what do you see?
Yeah. So COVID was definitely a big boost for Amazon. Pretty much like overnight, sales on Amazon increased by about 50%. Now, different categories, a little bit different level, but if like we look at it as a whole, it was roughly 50%.
Yes.
And what's crazy about this is this, like we're talking about, you know, like billions and billions of dollars of sales here.
Yeah.
And almost overnight, like within a 1 week period. So like practically overnight, sales on Amazon increased 50%. They haven't gone down since then. Sometimes they've actually continued to rise a little bit, but that's like it's really hard for us to wrap our head around like how many units or like how much like goods those are. And what happened is the supply chain has been like way slower to catch up to that.
Got it.
So the result of it is like 2020 was probably like the best year for Amazon sellers in the history of Amazon. And the reason for that is like, if we look at demand and supply, demand skyrocketed overnight, but supply is much slower to catch up because you're importing, you know, like
takes time.
It takes time. So yeah, like, you know, we see like overall revenue numbers increase, but also profits are up because with less supply, the prices are a little bit higher. So it's, and this is, I said 2020, but this is actually still true in 2021. So it's actually like Amazon sellers are doing great right now.
For sure. And then of course they would need to use a tool like, you know, Jungle Scout